So if you've ever been to I Still Matters, the Creative Cup, or community art group, then you definitely know this next gal. Rachel Potts is not only a board member of I Still Matter, Jacksonville's nonprofit which supports mental health through healing art groups, she's also a co-facilitator. We happily welcome you, Rachel.
I hear you laughing. Jump. I look at the bridge. It is but a finger pointing to a bed. I drive to the halfway point in the bridge. I get out of the car. I walk over to the side of the bridge. I look over the side. The water is a blanket covering the ground. As I jump, I sink under the blanket of water. I sink into a dream in which I will never awaken from. Okay, so that's not my best work, but in my defense, I was 11 years old when I wrote it. I know I was 11 because I still have that journal where I wrote the date and a note that says, "Do not show to people, big fight with M+D, Mom and Dad." I remember the fight. I remember my parents being so angry with me, but looking back, I think that anger stemmed from fear. No one wants their child to write about ending their life. They told me to write about how it felt to lay my head on my pillow at night. I don't think they realized how much I dreaded bedtime and the nightmares and sleeplessness that I went through. They probably wouldn't have liked those poems either. The reactions to that poem and my continual struggle with mental illness throughout the years was filled with anger and denial. By the time I was 13, I was self-harming as well as suicidal. Then my feelings were dismissed as teenage angst and hormones. I was threatened with hospitalization and told that they would shoot me up with so many drugs I would never be myself again. I was taught to be quiet. Probably slower than I should have. I did learn to keep quiet, bite my tongue, hide my feelings. I lied to doctors, families, friends, therapists. I lied so much that I began to believe my own lies. I no longer had to think when I lied. It just came out as if it was the truth, and I really believed it. When I was 19 years old, I was sitting with my manager, who I was really close with. He told me he thought I was depressed and maybe I needed to see a doctor. At the time, I was secretly in a relationship which was physically, emotionally, and sexually abusive. The result of a rather bad manic episode which came with a lot of really poor decisions. I was in an awful state, but when he asked that question, are you depressed? I laughed. I actually laughed. And through my giggles, I told him that he didn't understand. I have always been this way. If I saw him today, I think I would hug him and thank him for asking me, for daring to ask me if I was okay, and I wish more people had. It wasn't until about 5 years after that I finally realized that I had a problem. I somehow managed to find and marry the most amazing man I've ever met. He has never been anything but supportive to me. Somehow he slowly managed to unwrap my lies and see me for who I was, a very broken young woman. He didn't push, he didn't make ultimatums. He just helped me see myself for the state I was truly in. Healthy people don't carry knives in their purses with them when they go to dinner with friends in case they feel the need to hurt themselves. Healthy people don't cry themselves to sleep every night. He held a mirror up to me in a very nice way. And I finally remembered that little girl who was hurting and wasn't afraid to ask for help. When my daughter was 8 months old, I made the difficult decision to check myself into a hospital and get treatment. I went in to be evaluated, and I finally told the truth about everything. That was my first step in my lifelong journey of recovery. Now I can tell you that I have bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder, PTSD, and I am over 2.5 years free of self-harm. Thank you. I have found my normal. I never thought that was possible. Now I try to help other people find their normal as an advocate and a peer, speaking openly about my experience with mental illness and through working with I Still Matter, a Jacksonville-based nonprofit which brings healing art groups to the community for women with mental illness. And I really hope my poetry has gotten a little better. My scars are not beautiful. I will not romanticize this red testimony, just a lesson learned in my eyes. Dancing with blades, this self-infliction is no masterpiece, just another addiction. You cannot compare this scar to a sapphire, though both gleam in the light of the mind's consuming fire. They are not beautiful, but I am despite an honest, loving soul clothed in rags of hindsight. You are beautiful, but not for your scars. It is for the strength that you're still here to write your memoirs. Lay down your weapon, your poison of choice. Pick up your best defense. Raise your beautiful voice. Thank you.